Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing my all-time favorite recipe ever. I get asked for this recipe all the time after I've given anyone this banana bread as a gift or shared it at my home. I always get asked for the recipe, so I thought I would share it today with you guys here on YouTube. I will leave a link to the recipe below, and I'll also leave a link I'll also list out all the ingredients so that you can make it without going to the link if you want as well. So what you're going to need for this recipe is some milk and vinegar. I have some chocolate chips there, that's optional. Salt, flour, sugar, 2 eggs, vanilla, some vegetable oil, baking soda, and bananas. Now I'm going to explain a little bit more detail with each of these ingredients because it is important. So first of all, this is the buttermilk mixture that I make out of just milk and vinegar, and then later the baking soda. So what you're going to do is add about a tablespoon of vinegar to a measuring cup, and I don't really measure anymore, I just eyeball it, but about a tablespoon, and then you're going to fill the rest of the cup up to the halfway mark with milk. You can use any milk. Well, I always use cow's milk. I'm not sure what almond or coconut milk would be like, but I always use cow's milk, and you just fill it up to the halfway line. You can use regular buttermilk, which I do not prefer. I like the mixture better, but if you do use regular buttermilk, make sure to use the baking soda in your mix. Just add it to your flour whenever you're mixing up your banana bread, because it will be flat if you do not use your baking soda. I've learned that the hard way. Okay, so first what we're going to do is add in 1.5 cups of sugar. I have tried to make this less, I don't want to say less sweet, but less sugar, and I've done a cup of sugar, and it's actually turned out okay, but if you really want the absolute best recipe, do 1.5 cups of sugar, and then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and after that you're going to add in 2 eggs, and you're going to mix that up. So the first 3 ingredients: sugar, oil, and eggs. And I wanted to mention that I do the vinegar and milk first so that so I can let it sit a little bit while I do the rest of the banana bread. And of course you could use some kind of electrical mixer to mix this, but I just prefer to do it with a spoon and hand mix it. So here is where I think the key is to this recipe. It's all in the bananas, in my opinion. So as you notice, my bananas are super ugly and brown and wet looking. After my bananas have ripened, I will stick them in the freezer. So I'll always buy an abundance of bananas, and then whenever they start to go bad, I'll put them in a baggie and just stick them in the freezer for whenever I'm ready to make banana bread. So, as you can see, they are super black, which is perfect. You want them really ugly and black, and when you peel them, you want them to just fall out, and there will be a ton of juices that come out, or there should be a ton of juices that come out with them, and that is perfect. That's exactly what you want. So you'll just take them out of the freezer, let them thaw. Sometimes I've even had to nuke them in the microwave if I'm making the banana bread a little bit before I was able to let them thaw. And yeah, you'll just let all the juices come out with the bananas, and then you will mash them really, really well, and then add them to your mix. After you've got that all mixed up, you're just going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
We'll still be up, don't care about the place we found.
Now that we've got all the wet ingredients combined, we're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And I use a sifter, as you see, to put the flour in because I used to just add it just normally, but I started getting clumps in my banana bread. So that's why I use a sifter now, and I have no clumps. It's perfect.
Maybe I shouldn't call you.
And after all the flour is added, I just fold it over so that I don't get flour everywhere, and I just slowly stir it in until the entire thing is all incorporated and a nice smooth batter.
Yes, too soon to mention how I've begun to feel that I want your attention. This time it is for real.
And now we're going to make our buttermilk, which is the fun part. I always loved this as a kid. This is my mom's recipe if I did not mention that before. So what you're going to do is take 1 teaspoon, and you're going to get a teaspoon of baking soda, and you're going to add it to this vinegar milk mixture, and you're going to slowly stir it until a foam appears, and it basically overflows the cup. I always loved this as a kid. It was my favorite part. So I'm trying to show you closely so you can see as it's getting higher and higher and it's foaming. Obviously that's the vinegar and baking soda mixing together, and that's exactly what you want.
Could it be that I'm lucky to have found someone who is just as crazy as me, or is it just in my mind? Yet too soon to mention how I've begun to feel that I want your attention. This time it is for real. Oh baby, love me like you did last night. I wanna hold you till the morning comes. Oh baby, love me like you did, love me like you did.
And I kept this awkward clip in so you guys could see what YouTubers try to figure out when they are filming. I'm trying to figure out how I can show me pouring this and not spill it everywhere on the counter for the camera. So you're just going to spray 2 loaf pans with, I use the Baker's Joy. It's like, it has flour in it, and it works great for anything that when I'm baking. And so I use that to spray both my loaf pans with. Of course, you could use muffin pan, a bundt pan. Sometimes I use the mini loaf pans. You could really use anything. You just have to adjust your baking time. So yeah, I'm just pouring it in here, and my oven is already set to 350, ready to go. And I am adding some mini chocolate chips to this batch. I added about half a cup. I probably should have done a little bit less, but I'm adding about half a cup of chocolate chips. My husband really likes when I add blueberries, so sometimes I'll add that as well. So you really could just add anything to this banana bread that you like.
Maybe I shouldn't call you or leave a message at all. So I'll try to be patient, 'cause nothing's written on the wall.
Once you've got your pans filled, you're just going to add it to the oven, which is already preheated to 350, and you're going to bake it for 45 minutes. That's what I start with, and then sometimes I have to add. I did have to add 8 minutes, but only to the one with chocolate chips, I think because it was filled a little bit higher. And I just use a toothpick. Once the time's up, I just insert a toothpick and make sure that it comes out clean. Once it does, you know that it's ready. And that's it, guys. I made this at night after the kids went to bed. So I made this, and then I put it in the oven I cleaned up my kitchen. I had a nice clean kitchen, and then by that time these were ready. So it was so nice. I had a warm piece of bread after I was done cleaning, and my favorite way to eat this is with a little bit of butter spread on top. So I hope you guys give this recipe a try. Let me know if you did and you like it. I promise you will like it. And I did try to get a shot of the banana bread the next morning when the light was coming in so you could see the inside. And guys, this stuff is so good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you will subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Oh baby, love